It's been 150 years since the first railway line was laid down in South Africa. Now, that was only 3.2 kilometers long, but that very small beginning was the foundation of what would become an interconnected system of rail across the country. Well, there's one particular train that can attest to all of this railway development. Meet the Lephalale. It's been traveling across the country since the inception of democracy in 1994. And well, let's just say if trains could talk, there's a lot this particular one would have to say about all the development South Africa has seen since then. Fast forward 20 years and the Lephalale's wheels are still turning. Our journey begins in the Waterberg region of Limpopo. Embedded in the mountains, the mining town of Lephalale, formerly known as Ellisras. Its rural character is now being transformed into the first major urban development post-democracy. Suburbs and developments are springing up on every corner. Business is rapidly growing, making it almost impossible to believe that less than a decade ago, only about 7,000 people lived here. A significant reason for this massive growth is Medupi, the fifth largest coal power plant in the world. The plant is critical in meeting the country's energy needs and avoiding a repeat of the countrywide blackouts of 2008. Countless hours of manpower are being put into the project, but various strikes at the plant have caused costly delays. The situation now appears to have stabilized as work furiously continues. Now, this area forms part of the storage pile for coal that's going to be coming in from the Exaro mine, and Eskom is certainly going to be needing a lot of it. Once this plant is in full operation, it'll require 54,000 tons of coal to keep it going on a daily basis. New coal mines are expected to open to help feed the hungry Medupi. It's projected that both the mines and the plant will keep Lephalale's economy growing for the next 50 years. But one of the major problems here is the lack of accommodation for those streaming into town. Property prices are now shooting through the roof, and land has been earmarked to try and address this problem.
Behind me here is an estate which is called Altuus Estate. Now, the first stage is plus minus 5,000 stands, and it's connecting this town with the next small town, Marapong, of which there's going to be over 50,000 stands altogether.
While the town of Lephalale booms, the nearby residents of the Marapong township are hoping they won't be left behind. At the very least, they're hoping for work.
No process ya go khumana accommodation ke process e kile gore itshwenya ga go ka baka la gore evening ho tswa o le go ga o sne o tswa kwa o tshwelang o tlo tlonya ka mmereko ka motho khumana le gore rent ya gona e go godimo ba bang ba paditša di 1200 ba bang paditša di 800 ba bang ba paditša 650 ka mo mekhukhung ya go ba le metlhagase ene mo mekhukhung e ile gore nga gone metlhagase ba bang ba bitša 350 ba bang ba bitša di 400 rand.
But it's not easy finding a job, and they meet here every day, waiting for news. Access to basic services is also a problem.
Just imagine ile mmereko mo ntshare ka moka o walla to humana metsi a seo o bereka jang ka re ntungolo ngwe berekisang ke metsi, like the toilet. That means you go mo ntshare ba toilet or maybe ba no ya ka mo skankeng ka mo no dia plan o at least no dirang no thushea.
After spending only a short time here, it becomes very clear that in order for Lephalale to succeed, its growth needs to benefit all its residents. Our journey continues to Mpumalanga. Here we stop off at the fourth largest coal power plant in the world, Medupi's sister station, Kusile. Workers here are also under pressure to meet deadlines. Government has made it very clear that Kusile needs to start feeding into the power grid before the year is over.
So it's a major investment in ensuring energy security, that we in fact have the energy for growth, for electricity for our people, for jobs and for development.
There are over 17,000 people working at this construction site, making it the largest in the southern hemisphere. Over half the jobs here have benefited local Mpumalanga residents. But given all the work that still needs to be done, it's likely it'll only start generating power by early 2015. Just to give you an idea of how much resources are actually being used to build this power plant, let's take, for example, the metal scaffolding that they're using here. By the time that this project is actually completed, they would have used steel equivalent to that needed to build 60, yes, that's 60 World Cup stadia. A legacy that construction of both Medupi and Kusile will hopefully leave is the development of much needed skills.
We should not lose the opportunity to make sure that this time around, as we build the infrastructure, that we make sure we accelerate our skills development efforts in order to ensure the long-term sustainability of these assets that's being built.
Infrastructure is the critical driver of economic growth and of job creation. It's when we invest in infrastructure that we are able to unlock the wealth of the nation and bring opportunity to our people.
And as ESCOM
know more about your world.
eNCA.com